This is the first edition of You Know You're a Baller When. I have a feeling there's going to be many episodes in this series. First of all, let me tell you about my current surroundings. I am at Dunkin' Donuts. It is 4:53 in the AM right now. I scoured the internet. I went to a couple restaurants that said they were supposed to be open, and nothing is open in Philadelphia right now. There's one diner I usually go to that's far in the depths of Philadelphia, but I know there won't be parking, so I didn't go there. I just wanted to set the table for you guys, and then I'm going to start with the You Know You're a Baller When. I went drinking with my psychotic roommate last week.
Yeah, 2 minutes in.
And I came home with more money than I left with. Now that's not an out of this world thing for me, except that's usually because I went to play cards. We're walking home, we walked home, it was like 2.5, 3 miles home from the bar, and somehow Gladiator came up, and it was like when you're walking through the fields and you're in Elysium, you know you're dead. So that's the actual phrase. He said it was Oblivion, and I said no, it's not. I didn't say it was Elysium, I just said no, it's not Oblivion. And he says, okay, I bet you. And I'm like, okay, $200. He's like, $5. I'm like, no, $200. So it's like $100. I was like, okay, bet. This is a real bet, right? And he's like, yep. So we bet, and then he looked it up in his phone, and sure enough, it was not Oblivion, it was Elysium.
If you find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
So I came home with more money that night than I had left with, and we got a bunch of drinks, talked to a bunch of girls. When I get the money back tonight. So that's cool. So that's the first part of this episode of You Know You're a Baller When. The second part is what happened tonight. I left my house with a few $100s. I got a money order. I paid my rent, sent the rent in. Then I went and played cards. I am coming home with about the same amount as I left with even after paying rent. Second part of You Know You're a Baller When. The third part of tonight's episode brings me to the Apple store, where I know you guys know that I bought a desktop computer a few months ago. I did just put that episode up, but that footage was taken a few months ago, as long ago as November. I think either early November or late October. It might have been the very, very last week of October. I loved it. I loved that computer. It did amazing things. It does more amazing things than any Apple laptop can do, but it just wasn't right for me right now because I plan on doing a lot of traveling, and I hate where I live. So I want to be out more. So I want to be in Starbucks. I want to talk to women. I want to meet people. I want to do things. And that computer is just keeping me in my house, like putting out these vlogs. I love it, but like it's just keeping me in the house for hours at night when I should be out. Like not necessarily, you know, gallivanting and doing nothing, but I should at least be at Starbucks or some other cafe. So I persuaded Apple to exchange the desktop for a laptop even after months of having the desktop. I talked to this woman on the phone. I explained the situation. She connected me to an Apple store where I explained it to the manager, and we talked for like literally 25 minutes. And he said, I'll make the exception for you. So I went in and I got my laptop. You'll be seeing the opening of that laptop this week. So this is the end of You Know You're a Baller When. This is the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night. If you like the channel, subscribe. If you're new here, if you really like the channel, share it with your friends. And if you want to see something, just let me know. I hope this coffee doesn't keep me wired for the next few hours. Good night.
Now, what y'all wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers, on the low from the Jake and the Taurus, trying to get my hands on some grants like Horace.